Hello world, I'm an average Joe and I play games, and today I'm going to be talking about a little bit about how I'm going to prepare for the House of Wolves. So this week Bungie revealed how all of the upgrades are going to work in House of Wolves with upgrading gear and some of the new vendors and all that stuff. So go check out that stream that they posted on Twitch, and then they recorded it and put it on YouTube. I'm not going to cover everything that they did in there. 1,000 other YouTubers have done that as well. Instead, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm going to do to prepare for House of Wolves. And to entertain you guys while we do that, I'm going to just launch into the weekly Nightfall and see how far we can get with soloing it. This is such a bad idea. I'm not a solo Nightfaller, but I don't have any gameplay saved up to put in the background of this video. And I don't have a lot of time to, grind through Crucible to get a good gameplay for you guys, so I'm going to do this live, make it a little bit of a casual conversation, a little bit of a live commentary while we try to get through this. So in short, I am super excited about House of Wolves, because if you saw if I was a game designer for a day, you're welcome. Because Bungie basically watched that video and implemented a bunch of stuff from that video. And first and foremost that I'm super excited about is the gear. Because, I mean, look, so if you're not aware, what Bungie is doing in House of Wolves is you can take any legendary gear and you can upgrade it. And, I mean, seriously, that means as soon as House of Wolves drops, I will be able to upgrade this gear and have the default shaders on my Dead Orbit gear, and I am going to look boss. I mean, this is just a boss setup. I can't wait to run that look, and I'm so glad that I saved my gear from before. Oh, what did I have on here? Starfire. So which brings me to kind of my first point is what I'm going to be doing between now and House of Wolves, the biggest difference gear-wise, I don't have Starfire. This is supposed to be part of the Praxic Fire. There we go. So the biggest difference with House of Wolves is that you can run the gear that you want. You don't have to run Crota's End or Iron Banner gear to get up to level 32, for instance. Once House of Wolves drops, you won't have to run, Prisons of Elders gear or anything like that. Instead, you can run whatever gear you want. And that is going to make it so awesome, because you can have lots of custom sets of gear, at least I'm going to, for different occasions. And so you may have some gear that, has a lot of intellect and discipline when you want to have a high damage output, but you may, switch that up for gear with different perks or whatever when you want to, do something else. So that's going to be the first and major change. Now, all of the vendors in the tower and in the, the reef is new, but all the vendors in the tower are going to change their gear. So that's one of the things that you'll want to do between now and House of Wolves drop, is you want to go and you want to check out every vendor that is in the tower to see if they have something that you want, either stat-wise, perk-wise, or aesthetically. So the Dead Orbit gear is not the strongest armor in the world, but aesthetically it is my favorite looking gear. So I'm going to be using it all the time, at least aesthetically. What is alive behind me? What is... And so I'm going to be using that, not all the time, but, at least in, situations, I'm going to say non-serious play. So I may not run it for Nightfalls or raids, but, basically everything else, I'll be using it. And where's this other sniper? I lost sight of him. And then, so the other thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making sure that I have near max on my Crucible marks and on my Vanguard marks. And so... Ooh, there he is. Why is he way over there? He went way out of the way. Waiting for his shield to drop. That was a horrible shot. There we go. Oh, there's the other sniper that I was looking for. And so I want to make sure that I'm going to have full marks so that if any of the vendors have anything cooler, better than what I already have, I'll be able to buy that. And because you won't need any commendations to buy it anymore, you don't have to worry about that. So you can just buy the gear as you want. The other thing that I'm going to make sure that I stock up on is planetary upgrade materials, so that any new gear that I buy, I will be able to upgrade that gear, right away. The other thing that you'll want to make sure that you have a lot of is glimmer, because if you saw, in order to upgrade your existing gear into level, I think it's going to be light level 34 gear or 365 attack for weapons, you'll need for exotics, you'll need exotic shards, which I'll get to in a second. And you also need this new upgrade material that you can get from Nightfall activities. Now, hopefully you'll get it from every Nightfall. Hopefully it will not be this RNG drop. If it's an RNG drop, it's going to be insanely annoying to get it to drop. Because if you're anything like me, you'll play through the Nightfall 20 times and you'll just get Ascendant Shards. And so, but you need this new material, and I forget what it's called. It's something with an E. I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to try. And so, so you need this new upgrade material, and you also need glimmer. You need a little bit of glimmer every time that you upgrade your junk. So you'll want to go ahead and do all of your exclusion zone grinding right now, so then you don't have to do that when the House of Wolves comes out, because you'll be if you're like me, you'll want to play the House of Wolves content. You're not going to want to grind for glimmer when the House of Wolves drops. So you'll want some planetary materials, you'll want your glimmer. Rocket this guy. What? How did that miss him? That was an awful, awful rocket. So you'll want your marks, you want your glimmer, you want your planetary materials, and that's about it. Those are really the things that I'm going to be getting. You'll also want to go to all of your different vendors. You'll want to make sure that there's nothing that they have that you'll want. And if you don't have some of the raid gear that you may want, now would be a good time to start doing those raids. If you don't have Fatebringer or Praedyth's Revenge, you'll want to go out and get those. Those are Fatebringer and Praedyth's Revenge are some of the most powerful weapons in the game, in my opinion. Praedyth's Revenge has, some of the highest stability on a sniper rifle, and Fatebringer is just all kinds of awesome. That's what I'm using right now. And so if you don't have those yet, go and get them, because when House of Wolves comes out, you will be able to upgrade it to the highest. Ooh, that grenade's going to kill me. And I'm probably pushed up a little far here. And so when House of Wolves drops, you will be able to upgrade all of that stuff to the highest damage level. And so, once again, Fatebringer and Praedyth's Revenge are going to be two of the best weapons in the game, which is comforting. So if you, oh goodness, that splash damage. Fall back even more. These guys are going to kill me. And so, the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys is to not worry about it, because, I'm sure I'm not the only one that is making a video like this, things that you can do for House of Wolves or whatever. But, I'm just going to do these low-level things. I'm not going to worry about, there's people that are, they're going to max out their you know, reputation and all of the factions, and get it all the way up to where, you know, as soon as House of Wolves drops, they can, you know, complete, you know, get it all the way up to, you know, within 100 of, you know, upgrading their faction, so that then when House of Wolves drops, then they can, you know, do one quick bounty and then get a package and then get new gear. You know, I'm not worried about, you know, doing little tricks like that. Mainly because, so House of Wolves is coming out May 19th. Destiny 2 probably won't come out until September. So that means that there is going to be, what, 4 or 5 months in between Destiny 2, in between House of Wolves and Destiny 2. That is a long time. Oh, I hate these Minotaurs because of this. Oh my goodness, I hate those. And so that is a long time for there to be a content gap. So you are going to have plenty of time to play all of the content. You're going to have plenty of time to upgrade everything that you want, to get all the game-ending gear, to get all the content, you know, anything in the game that you could possibly want, you're going to have the time to do it. So don't worry so much about getting it all day one. Just sit back, relax, do a few things to, you know, and everything that I mentioned here was basically to enable you to be able to enjoy House of Wolves, the new content in House of Wolves, because you don't want to be grinding for marks or grinding for planetary materials or grinding for, you know, glimmer or anything like that when House of Wolves drops. You want to be playing the game. And so those are the things that I recommend spending your time getting, is anything that you do not want to spend time doing when the DLC actually drops. Everything else, just play the game. You know, just sit back, relax, enjoy it. Hopefully we'll have a good story. You know, looks interesting. Looks like we're going to, you know, get access, you know, to some, you know, parts of the game and parts of the story that were hinted at. You know, we've heard about Prison of Elders for, you know, before in the Ishtar Sink Strike, the one that we're playing right now. You know, of course, the Queen of the Reef was, you know, part of the main storyline, and then, you know, we had that, you know, one, you know, Queen's Wrath event right when the game first dropped. Where are you guys? But, you know, aside from that, you know, we haven't seen anything out of the Queen since then. And so, you know, we're going to get access to some cool stuff. So sit back, relax, enjoy it, and enjoy that Bungie is listening to the community. I mean, I think it was More Console that said that House of Wolves, or no, it was Bungie Informer that said that House of Wolves is going to be Bungie's love letter to the community. And I really believe that. And I've said this to you guys before, you know, in other contexts about the you know, the issues in, you know, Destiny 1, this first year Destiny. You know, no major franchise got it right the first time. Wow, and I'm actually doing way better than I thought I would. I've actually already completed the Nightfall this week. Some subscribers helped me through it. So I guess, do you guys want me to keep on blabbling until I get through it?
Picking up fallen comms.
Is that something you want to see? I don't know. We'll keep on going, and I'll look at the audience retention, because I've basically said everything that I wanted to say. I didn't think that I would get through this much of the Nightfall. So if I see a bunch of you guys drop off, then I'll know that you don't really care to see me try to solo the Nightfall. But yeah, you know, basically no major video game franchise got everything perfect the first go around. You know, whether it was Call of Duty or Halo or you know, any, you know, major franchise, you know, it's taken them a few games to get it right. You know, so, you know, even games like Titanfall that, you know, I've never played Titanfall, but I heard it was not very good compared to the hype that it received. That it was way overhyped. So, you know, even something like Titanfall, you know, Titanfall 2 is probably going to be much, much better because they're going to, you know, learn from the lessons. Oh, don't get shot. They're going to learn from the lessons that they had in the first game. And you know what? We only live once. Let's blast through these guys. All right, look at that. And if you missed my Sparrow speed video, you'll know that legendary quality Sparrows, fastest Sparrows in the game, except Timebreaker under the little super boost ability. Little shameless self-promotion. But yeah, I definitely believe that this will get better as it goes on, and you know, we'll hit a sweet spot. You know, so I know Bungie wants this to be a 10-year game, but you know, if you look at something like Call of Duty, it has not been 10 years since Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare, COD 4, which was, you know, really the start of the, you know, Call of Duty franchise as we know it. There were Call of Duties before then, but they were not, you know, recognizable compared to Call of Duty today. And so, you know, and Call of Duty's sales numbers have been decreasing the last couple of years. So will this thing actually last 10 years? You know, probably not. You know, I hate to say it, I love this game, but it is a stretch of my imagination to think that this thing will still be going strong in 10 years, because people are going to get tired of the gameplay. They're going to get, you know, it's going to be the same, you know, criticisms of Call of Duty are going to, you know, in 5 years, people are going to say that about Destiny, that is all, you know, it's always the same, that, you know, it's, oh, this guy's going to tear me a new one. That it's always the same, that, you know, nothing ever changes, that it's, you know, Destiny Madden Edition.
A cell from the Prison of Elders. The Archon Priest is still inside.
That, you know, everything, you know, stays the same year after year, that all you're doing is just, you know, getting reskins of the same content. You know, that people will start saying that about Destiny in 5 years. And so, but in between then, between 5 years from today and then, you're going to hit a really sweet spot. You know, I think that Destiny 2, Destiny 3, Destiny 4, that's when they're going to, you know, have, you know, the best games of this series, I truly feel. Additionally, and there's another reason why that's going to be the case, and it all comes down to money. Because the way that software development works is you have, you know, you have to basically bankroll your software before you get any money from it. And I better get away from those snipers. Oh, I'm totally screwed that thing up. That's all right. That's why Warlock's best class to solo. That right there. You will screw stuff up. And self-res helps you recover when you screw something up. Oh, come on now. Get out of here. So yeah, so as you guys know, I'm a software engineer, and so I know, you know, about how the business, and I got to get away from that ship. I know the business of how software is developed. And so what you have to do as a software development company is there's an accounting technique called capitalization. And so basically what you do is you have to figure out a way to bankroll the first release of your software, because you haven't made any money from it. You haven't sold anything. So what do you use to pay all of your engineers that are, you know, developing this super cool software for you that, you know, you haven't gotten any money from? And so you have to figure out a way to bankroll it. So whether that's, you know, some sort of investor, or, Oh, please don't kill me. Should be able to burst you down. No, I'm not able to. Man, that was a disappointing end. I thought with Fatebringer I could burst him down before he got me. Man, that's unfortunate. Well, we got a lot further than I thought we would. We probably got a little careless towards the end. But, oh well. This video has gone on for, 20 minutes? Wow. I need to stop rambling. But yeah, so basically, I'll just finish my point. So basically, with software, you have to figure out a way to bankroll it for your year one because you don't have any money to develop your software. You only get money at the very end when you sell the software. And so that's part of the reason why, pre-ordering is such a big deal for software companies now, because they get that money before they actually release the software. And that's why, you see, companies like Activision, Activision bankrolled Destiny 1 for Bungie. But now Bungie has money from Destiny 1 that they're using to pay for the development of Destiny 2. And because they have that influx of cash, they're able to spend more on Destiny 2 than they did in Destiny 1. Because as big as Activision is not going to bankroll a large budget for the first game of an IP because it's too much of a gamble. They don't know how it's going to turn out. So instead, they'll bankroll a small release, a small game, and when it does well, like Destiny has, despite the critics, Destiny has done well financially, and so they will be willing to bankroll more in addition to supplement the sales of Destiny 1 for an even bigger Destiny 2. So that's just economics. That's just the way that the world works. And so that's part of the reason why this game is going to get better over time. I'm excited about it. So that's the overall point of this video. Step back. Don't worry so much about what you're going to do to prepare for House of Wolves. Just do some of those housekeeping things between now and then. So then as soon as the DLC drops and you download it and install it, which as everyone knows will take forever. But as soon as you download it and install it, you can jump right in and play the new content and enjoy this great game. All right, leave a comment down in the comment section below. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, do all of that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next game.